The formless substance of mind is all about you. Out of this you can draw what is necessary for your happiness. Jesus did this, for he fed the 5,000 and drew on this inexhaustible supply and gave it. He used it just as freely as he chose, and yet it still remained full. The works that I do ye shall do also. This mind he has called the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen with the material eye. Then learn to impersonalize everything. Use this great abundant health just as freely as you do the air, never thinking that it is my health, but that it is health just like air. Let it flow anew into your consciousness. Let it stream in and out, full of radiance of eternal mind, light. Let go, relax, and give up, and let this all come to you to use. This absolutely applies to money. So one thing, if you're new to the law and you haven't begun to conceptualize about, you haven't begun to think about how everything is just made out of imagination. I mean, factually, money is imaginary. But do you know how much money there is? Right now, there's quadrillions, and most of it is in the derivatives market, which is entirely, has no representation other than ones and zeros on a screen. None. There's no currency flowing about to symbolize it. It's literally just numbers on the screen. Okay? Quadrillions is a lot of money. It's a lot of money. Billions is already too much. Too much for one person to have tutelage of, right? There's zero reason, and not only that, the supply is literally infinite because of the way that we have imagined and manifested that Federal Reserve banks generate money. They just make it up. They literally just make it up. Look it up if you don't believe me. They make money up, and they make up loans. Okay, it's infinite. There's practically to you an infinite amount of money that you could bring into your life, right? And most people don't realize this, but I mean, if you live in an industrialized nation, you will be a millionaire by the time you die, just based on your income. You didn't hoard it up enough to say at any given point in time, I am a millionaire, but your income alone was the equivalent of millions, especially if you had just simply invested it. I mean, anybody could become a millionaire just by setting aside a certain portion of their paycheck every month and putting it into ETFs and all of that. But anyway, my point is, your supply of money is so much vaster and bigger than you've probably given yourself credit for before. And it's just as infinite as your supply of air, the running water in your house, and this concept here of health. So the more you think about like just how much money is out there, be like, well, why couldn't some of it come to me? It's like, in the grand scheme of things, a couple $1 million is nothing. Like, it is nothing. It's really like nothing at all. So it's not like, once you recontextualize these things, it makes it a little bit easier to claim. And a lot of what Lanyon talks about is changing the way you think about reality in order for your manifestations to appear more boldly and more quickly, really, and with more ease. Because there's nothing easy and there's nothing really faithful about repeating an affirmation 1,000,000 times but never really feeling into the state, or even doing the same imaginal act, every night for a month or months and not seeing results. That's not really satisfying. But once you move more into knowledge, self-knowledge of who you are and how this reality operates, you can start claiming and receiving things as close to instantly as possible, if not instantly, just because you have that foundational self-awareness. So you don't need to affirm for it 1,000,000 times. You just accept it. I mean, Neville talks about this all the time. It's like just having a simple assumption. I mean, as soon as you have a desire, you're called upon to accept it then, in mind as a fact already done. All right, so let's go to the next chapter. The Father within. The whole world looks like a huge crystal this morning, said Jethro as he and Abdallah walked along the narrow winding path, which led to the little. Maybe this is Abdullah. Walked along the